Hi, everybody, and we welcome you to OzarkRadioNews.com, where we come up with various subject matter to talk about online with the Ask the Expert series and things like that. But today we have a special segment where we're going to be talking with the now former head coach of the West Plains Visitor football team, Steve Airy, who has joined us to sort of tie a bow around what has been such a terrific tenure here as the head coach of the West Plains Visitor football program. And as he sits to my left here, the Hall of Fame coach has done an unbelievable job, and not really surprising since he is that kind of football coach. I remember when, Steve, when you got the job, I remember thinking, well, they got the right guy, but it was a tough situation that you made a lot of changes that helped make this from a tough job into a much better job.
You know, when you evaluate something, you always try to start from the ground up. So you got to find your foundation. So we dove right into the Mighty Mites. Co-op program took place about that time. Implemented strength training in the class, in the school, in the curriculum. Those were probably the three big things. And the OFL program, the Ozark Football League. So we really addressed our young kids and kids that were going to be our future. And finally got up there, Harlin. And they did what they're supposed to do.
And that has worked, but you were able to coach the kids that you had when you first came in. You were able to coach them up pretty quickly and turn the team into a competitive team. That was the first step. But then once that happened, you had that solid foundation. You had some really good kids come along later on. And so once that ball got rolling, it really made it much easier, didn't it?
It did. And where we really got lucky was consistency. Didn't have a lot of turnover within the coaches. My brother Lindy helped me in the 6th grade, and always he installed our offense defense at the 6th grade level, so it was good going into the 7th and 8th grade level. Kids just got a ton of reps. They learned the system. They were good at the system. But it seems like we just had everybody a little more prepared than most teams.
You came here from Mountain Grove. You're going up in class. You're in a very tough conference, in the Ozark Conference, and people who have been watching Zizzer football for years understand how tough the league is. When you first got sort of acclimated to it and saw what it was all about, what were your biggest? I know you wanted to get the younger kids, and get them started at a young age. What was the most important thing for you to get the program to be at least competitive?
I kind of think like this, and I may be completely off base, but this is what I believe in.
I doubt it.
I didn't think we matched up athletically very well most Fridays. So we tried to make our kids a lot more physical. So we really stressed weight room, really stressed toughness. And we wanted our kids to fight a little more than other kids. So our workouts are a little bit tougher. I probably coach them a little harder than most guys coach. But our kids are tough, our kids are strong, our kids are physical, and that was our main thing. And then as far as the game planning goes, is run the football effectively, keep those athletes off the field, shorten up the game. Where it's not a 200 play game. I would rather play a 150 play game, 150 play game. Just keeping those guys off the field and letting us control the tempo, controlling the clock, controlling the ground game, being more physical and being more tough.
Did you find the Ozark Conference what you thought it was when you came?
It was better when I got here than what I thought. My first year, we went 0-10. And I was like, wow, how are we going to get 50 points better in 1 year? We were just getting drilled. And I don't know, next year we kind of close to like a 28-point game. We were in some games and won 3, I think. And then the next year we were in the thick of it, won a conference championship. But I don't know if you remember the Glendale game. You get to where you're coaching every aspect of the game to get an edge. Mm-hmm. But we won a game late in the game on a fake spike. It looked like it was a 2-minute drill. We fake spike. Sam threw the ball up in the end zone. I believe it was to Gerard. Mm-hmm. But we won a ball game just on a situation. So we really started coaching situational football. Anything that was going to come up, we was going to be ready for it. If we could win that play, we were going to win that play, that situation. So it really changed the way I coached a lot. I was a lot more detailed after getting my brains beat out, 0-10 season, and being out athleted like crazy.
Speaking of that, I remember the night when that losing streak came to an end over here against, I believe it was Waynesville.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be an elephant off of your chest when you couldn't go anywhere until you won a game. So you won a game, and now you're off to the races.
Harlin did all my shopping at Walmart like at 10 p.m. or midnight. I couldn't even be seen in public. I was so embarrassed and humiliated to be that kind of a coach. And it was the worst days of my life, but they got better. But that game right there, I remember I danced all the way across that field, high knees. My feet didn't even hit the turf. It was a great feeling.
So that's the spot. That was the first win in the Steve Airy era. Go from then to now, the season we just completed, a season that very few schools really ever get a chance to experience. Did you see yourself developing a team that was going to be that good here, being able to do that?
You know, Harlan, you'd mentioned something like that to one of our previous interviews. Did you ever think you could beat everybody by Turbo
Clock.
And at the time I thought, we just did what we did. It's who we are. It is something different. I didn't stop at that point to smell the roses. It was just was what it was. But I've never coached or seen anything like this. Now they may have seen it over in Webb City or some places like that, but I've never been a part of anything like it. So.
Well, they've never seen it in West Plains, I can tell you that.
It was great.
And the reaction of people and support for your football program. It was amazing, these last few years. You go out on Friday night. I mean, you wouldn't know if you were in Oklahoma or Texas or some of these places with the people that turned out for your ball games.
Town really embraced us. That was probably one of the things I should have mentioned in the beginning, but when the business people, it takes a town to build a football team, I think. If your towns don't have your back, it's not going to go. But our town embraced me when I came in. They said, we want football to get better. And, we do our banquet and our auction. And it's grown every year. And football's grown every year. And our productivity's grown every year. And I blame a lot of it on just people that support us and the parents and the businesses and all the people that have helped build this thing. It's not just us. It's them as well. It really is.
A few years ago, you get named to the Coaches Hall of Fame. You've got the football team that looks like it's loaded and ready to go. Did you feel a little more pressure going into this past year, knowing that people were thinking you had a chance to be pretty good? I know you thought you were going to be pretty good.
I thought we was going to be pretty good. I knew we had a chance to win every game. I knew nobody would get away from us. I was just excited and ready to go. You don't get a chance to be in that situation very often, where you know you're going to be good, and it's a good place to be.
Now you're leaving, and you're going to be going to Harrison to coach down there with Joel Wells, guy you've known probably for a very long time. You've left this job, though. A lot of the times when coaches leave places, there's an empty jar of peanut butter in the cupboard, and that's about it. There's a lot of groceries in the cupboard for this football program as you leave. A good job for whoever takes over for you.
I think so. Obviously, this transpired late. I thought the timing was horrible, but everything just happened late. Some people think I'm jumping ship to get another job, and that's not the case at all. I'm going to exercise my options to retire. That's what I'm going to do. So I will draw my Missouri retirement, and then I'll go to Arkansas and be a football coach. And they have a lot of kids back. I really think preseason they're going to be picked as top 3 in the conference and maybe even a state rank. I think they can win their district again. I think they can win the conference again. So no, cupboards aren't bare. You're exactly right.
Good habits have been developed here over the years, and that'll carry forward from this point on. So when you think about this job and think about the years here, what's the biggest thing that stands out for you?
I don't know. Probably just the process. It was just where it started, where it finished. 53 people in the bleachers to 3,500 in the bleachers, and it's just been fun.
And you got to coach your own kid to all-state recognition, and that had to be a lot of fun for you too, your last year.
It was. When I first got here, I was kind of kicking myself, thinking, why did I do this? You know what I mean? And
I know what you mean.
And then, and then in the end, your kid ended up getting to play on just a great football team with great teammates and all state honors. And my nephew got to play, and so all of our family was in the bleachers on Fridays. That was fun. And the kids, those 24 seniors are like brothers. And I don't know how we built that kind of chemistry, but we did. And I hope it was as fun for West Plains as it was for Steve Airy.
I could safely say that most people would agree with that sentiment. It was more than they got to see something here that they've never seen before. And I remember when I talked to you on the phone, I found out you got this job. And you said, what am I getting into, Double H? Remember when I said, I'm afraid you may be played in the Ozark Conference with Central Ozark Conference talent, but that's where the coaching comes into it. And you raised that level up, and you gave these kids experiences and memories that they'll never forget. They've taken the Zizra football to a whole different level.
Well, they've definitely touched my heart as well. I mean, to watch them, they were just beat down like a bunch of beat down dogs when I got them. They were just, they didn't think they could win, no confidence. They just run around with their head between their knees. And now they walk through this town, their chest is high, and their
heads are up.
They're so confident, and they've just changed everything.
This guy is a special guy. He is a Hall of Fame coach in the state of Missouri. Unfortunately, this is the second time I've seen him leave a coaching job where I was, but he did the same thing here that he did when he was in Willow Springs, where he went to Mountain Grove, and did as good a job as anybody could possibly do. And he's not just a Hall of Fame coach, he's a Hall of Fame kind of guy. And so we'll miss him and wish him the very best as he goes coach for the Harrison Goblins. Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Steve Airy here on OzarkRadioNews.com.